Hey everyone, I'm Mike from theparkprodigy.com, and on today's video, we're going to break down 6 things not to do when planning a Walt Disney World vacation. And we all know planning a Disney vacation has become extremely complicated, even for my Disney vets out there. You know, if you haven't visited the parks in a couple of years, you're going to see that it is a completely different ballgame when it comes to planning a Disney vacation. And not only that, it's going to be a different experience once you even get into the parks. And of course, if you made it to this video, you probably are in the process of planning a Disney vacation, or YouTube is just telling you, hey, maybe it's time to plan a Disney vacation. So hopefully you find this video helpful, and by the end of this video, you are as prepared as possible to go and plan that amazing trip for your loved ones. I'm really excited for this video, so let's go get started. Thank you all again so much for checking out this video. Like I said, we're about to break down 6 things not to do when planning a Disney vacation, and I do hope by the end of this video we help you save some time and money in the theme parks, because that is the main point of all of our videos here at the Park Prodigy. Now, we're going to jump right in, and we are going to start with number 6, work our way down to 1, and at number 6, we are going to say don't just assume that Disney is the Magic Kingdom park. Now, of course, I said, no, Disney vets, non-Disney vets, there is so much that goes into planning a Disney vacation, and I think especially it's kind of easy for us to look at Disney and just say, oh, it's just the Magic Kingdom park. It's just just for kids. There's really not much to do there, or you might kind of not be looking forward to your Disney World trip just because you kind of envision it as everything you see, in the commercials and in the movies, right? Where it's just a kids park with kiddie rides, right? There's so much more that goes into Walt Disney World than just the Magic Kingdom park. And I can really attest to that because I have been doing this for a long time, but specifically I have been bringing new people to the Disney parks for a very, very long time. And me and my friends, I took a bunch of my friends when we were 18 years old to Disney World. They weren't really looking forward to it. And once they realized Epcot and Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom, we went 13 years in a row as a giant group of people from New York. We went to Walt Disney World 13 years in a row until COVID, when our streak got cut short. But it's just kind of trying to drive that point home, where there is so much to do in Walt Disney World outside of Magic Kingdom. You can go over to Hollywood Studios and enjoy Star Wars and all of the other thrill rides, such as the Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster. There's so much going on at Hollywood Studios. Festivals, Food and Wine Festival, Festival of the Arts, the Festival of the Holidays over at Epcot, right? Taking it one step further, Animal Kingdom, you do have that amazing Kilimanjaro Safari, you have Avatar, and then I also think that people look past the fact that you don't need to be staying at a Walt Disney World hotel in order to enjoy the restaurants and the bars at that hotel. Disney has some of the best restaurants in all of Orlando. Not only that, for my adults visiting Walt Disney World, right? They have some of the most amazing themed bars. If you guys want the perfect bar list or the perfect bar crawl, email me, Mike at theparkprodigy.com. I would definitely give you that. But again, you understand what I'm saying, where don't just think that because you're planning a Disney vacation, you have to go and spend 4 days in Magic Kingdom Park in the heat waiting on lines. That's not what your Disney vacation has to be. And I just think it was very important for us to start with that. Okay, moving along and over to number 5, we have don't forget to prioritize and plan ahead. Now, this is taking it one step further, where we're saying like, hey, there's a lot more going on outside of Magic Kingdom Park. And again, we feel like a lot of families just go and they get stuck in the Magic Kingdom, and that's why they might not be crazy about Disney. But with that being said, I think that a lot of it has to do with just planning ahead and being familiar with what is actually going on in the parks. Like, what do you have at your disposal when you pay these Disney ticket prices? And specifically, there's so much more from a ride standpoint, but also parades, fireworks. Get a feel for exactly what everyone in your group would want to do and come up with a game plan going into your day. This is important for a couple of reasons, but it's really, really going to help you kind of stay on track and get the most out of your time in the parks. And then also, it's just going to be that much more enjoyable because you're not going to be panicking once you get there with the long lines, and you're just going to know exactly where you want to go when you want to do that. Another thing, nighttime shows, right? Get familiar. Maybe you want to see the fireworks, maybe you don't. Festivals over at Epcot, which you already talked about. Figure out, hey, when do I want to go to Walt Disney World so I can enjoy the Food and Wine Festival? Or I can go in the spring when they have Flower and Garden. Outside of that, there's special event tickets, there's the holidays, Figure out what hours you want to be in the parks, because during the Mickey's Not So Scary, Mickey's Very Merry, the park hours might close a little bit earlier. Of course, meet and greets for the kids. You might have kids who love princesses or they want to see the superheroes, right? Get familiar with that so you can make sure that you are in the right park for the whichever character you want to meet. And then, of course, make sure you're giving some thought to the best time of year for your group. Okay, so moving along to number 4, do not forget to make your park reservations. Now, reservations have become such a big deal when it comes to visiting Walt Disney World, and you actually can't even get into a park right now if you don't have a valid ticket with a park reservation. It's kind of crazy. I used to sell tickets for Disney at the Magic Kingdom Park, and I can't even in my mind fathom how you can't even just walk up to the park anymore and just grab a ticket. You need to make a park reservation also, but that's the day and age that we live in, and it's an important part of your vacation. As soon as you buy your tickets or as soon as you make your Disney World vacation package reservation, go and make those park reservations, because in my honest opinion, there's no benefit to waiting and not making them, right? You can always cancel and change them later based on availability, but there's no benefit to, there's not going to be more reservations opening up, right? So just go ahead and make your park reservations. Not only that, dining reservations. So the Disney dining window opens up 60 days in advance, 60 days before your trip. And like I said, Disney has some of the best restaurants on property. They go extremely quick. Those reservations go like that. You have to be prepared. Make sure that you have your dining list. Make sure that when the 60-day windows open up, you are prepared to jump on. It's pretty early. I'm talking 5:45, 6 o'clock in the morning is when they release them. And they'll go, like I said, 6 o'clock in the morning. The most popular restaurants will be booked up very, very quickly. So you just want to know that, understand that going into your trip, and make sure you make those dining reservations. If you are in the process of planning a trip and you already see that one of the restaurants you want is not available, at the Park Prodigy, we actually have a free tool. It's a dining scraper where you just tell the tool essentially which restaurant you want, the time you want, and it will go and try to find that reservation for you and shoot you an email when we do see it, so you can go jump on quickly and then book that reservation. Okay, moving on to number 3, and we would say make sure you use a Disney travel advisor. Now, yes, here at the Park Prodigy, we are Disney travel advisors, so that you might say, hey, Mike, yeah, of course you're going to say that. But truthfully, I really mean use whoever you feel most comfortable with and whoever you trust, right? There's a lot of Disney travel advisors out there, and specifically, I think the most important thing to understand is it doesn't cost you any extra. So in my mind, like if you could team up with someone who is a Disney expert and we are trained by Disney and we know this product, right? Not only that, we understand when they have deals, we could get you better discounts and stuff like that when Disney's releasing deals, even after you book your trip, right? It just makes the most sense because you could see how much goes into a Disney World trip, and you could see that if it doesn't cost you any extra, like in my mind, why would you not use an expert? Especially if it's not costing you any extra. And on the flip side, a lot of the Disney travel planners that I have met in the industry will help you make those park reservations and a lot of the other reservations as well. They will help make sure that you are as prepared as possible from a park planning standpoint, right? So those are just some of the benefits and some of the reasons, like in my mind, it just, again, it doesn't make any sense not to, because it's not costing you any extra. You're actually booking directly with Disney, so you're actually getting an official Disney vacation package. It's kind of one and the same. And again, I am really, at this point, I'm giving a huge shout out to all of the Disney travel agents, all of the Disney vacation planners out there. Like go and try to find someone, like I said, in your local town, someone that you trust, because I guarantee you you'll be able to find someone, and I guarantee you that they'll be able to help you plan an amazing trip. Okay, moving on to number 2, and we would say make sure that you don't overlook the newest and latest Disney technology. Now, Disney is all about innovating and bringing the latest tech to guests within the park. And if you don't study up a little bit before your trip, you might be missing out. Now, there are so many new things to learn about. Some of them have been a little bit more popular than others. Some of them fans have been freaking out about, such as the new Disney Genie Plus, which is a paid skip-the-line system. But again, you just want to make sure that you are familiar with these. And one of the newest ones is the Magic Band Plus, which is a new interactive Magic Band that has special features for shows, Lightning Lane access, and even special surprises with the 50th anniversary statues. Of course, the Disney Genie Plus, which we already spoke about, is the paid skip-the-line system. Now, there's a lot that goes into this, and Disney actually recently just changed the pricing. It's going to range from $15 per person per day all the way up to $25 per person per day right now. We have a complete video on this if you want to go check that out, exactly how the Disney Genie Plus works. But again, just understand that, make sure that you know that going into your trip, because you have to make your first reservation at 7 a.m. the morning of your visit each day, right? There's a lot that goes into that. Make sure that you're prepared. Make sure that you're up to date on all the moving parts. Taking it one step further, just the My Disney Experience app in general. You're going to spend a lot of time in this app. There's no getting around it. If you're going to Walt Disney World, you need this app. It has a lot of other features such as the free Disney Genie, the mobile ordering, virtual queue access, dining reservations. Just be as familiar as possible with the technology, and so you're just that much more confident going into your trip once you get to Walt Disney World. Okay, last but not least, we would say don't overlook some of the extra fees and hidden costs that go into a Disney trip. And of course, I just know that this is such an important thing just from a budgeting standpoint. We would say that Disney no longer has the free transportation to and from the airport if you are staying at a Disney hotel. Now, Disney used to have the Magical Express, which would take you, and you would essentially take guests for free to and from the airport. Unfortunately, that is no longer. So you do have to figure out how you're going to get to and from the airport at this point in time. Parking costs at the theme parks, right? If you are going to drive, you do need to make sure that you budget that in. $25 per car for standard parking. And then, of course, the Disney resorts do have parking fees at this point as well. Like we said, we touched on the Disney Genie, no more Fast Pass, unfortunately. Different merchandise, souvenirs. This is such a big one. Again, this is probably the most important just because they could really add up quickly, any of these hidden fees. We actually have a full video in detail, and we will, of course, leave a comment in the show notes. But again, just going into it, we just want to make sure that you are prepared and you're budgeting accurately. Those are just some of the biggest ones that come to mind. Those are just some of the biggest ones that you want to be prepared for going into your Disney trip. Okay, so that is the list, everyone. That is the list from 6 down to 1. Those are some of the things not to do when planning your Disney World vacation, or not to overlook when planning your Disney World vacation. I really hope that you found this video helpful. We could have made this video a lot longer. And in fact, we're actually working on a video, top 10 things for first timers not to do while in Walt Disney World. So if you are in the process of planning a Disney vacation and you do want videos like this or like that, just be sure to subscribe to our channel, as we do have a lot more great content, similar content coming out in the coming weeks. I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all again so much for checking out this video. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.